today. It wasn't a late arriving bus for the Pacers, but it was an unwanted, very early wake-up call. At 6:45 this morning, the Pacers had a fire alarm. They were told to evacuate their hotel. The only guy who went down was Larry Bird. Said he'd already been up for 3 hours. I spoke to Bird. He said he had a conversation with Reggie Miller. He said to Reggie that he was 1 for 12 once in a playoff game. That being 1 for 16 was really no big deal. Anybody could do that. He said the true test of somebody who is truly great would be to take 30 shots. In other words, Reggie, keep shooting the ball. Bob?
Jim, thanks. So at 6:40 a.m., Bird had already been up for 3 hours. Has he got a paper route?
No, he's a coach. He's worrying for 12 different people.
That may have been a false alarm. Alarm over Shaq's performance is justified from Indiana's perspective. Even though Smits is 7-4, they have Davis at 6'11", jump against O'Neal, and the Lakers control it. Here's Glenn Rice. Off to Shaq. Jackson there with quick help. So it's Kobe Bryant. Glenn Rice into the lane, left hand, and got it. Harden got only 1 for 8 in game 1. Lost in the shuffle because of Miller's 1 for 16 and because his team won. Here is Miller. How long will he wait? Not very. A very different result.
And you can feel the hush in the Staples Center here. They know what this guy's capable of. He can electrify his team with his shooting. That's what they need.
After less than a minute, he's equaled his field goal total from game 1. Kobe. It'll be Indiana ball, and a loose ball foul is called on Ron Harper.
See, I like what they did here. They brought him to the right side of the floor. He played strictly on the left side in game 1. They forced him to the baseline. Here, he has a chance to go to either side. He just pulls up and shoots it, brings it back again on this possession. Same play. This time he goes left, and he's going to get the foul. Bob, what they did in game 1, the Lakers, they pushed him to the left side of the floor. They funneled him to his left hand, so he was down on the baseline. You can already see here the early jump shot and getting to the middle of the floor, something he did not do in game 1. More importantly, he gets to the free throw line. Quick jumper, now 2 free throws.
After barely a minute, Harper has 2 fouls. Miller never went to the line until the second half in game 1. He scored 3 quick points here.
Now, if Reggie gets off to a great start, his team has to follow. Jalen Rose, Rick Smits, all these guys, they can't just watch him play. They need everybody playing at the same time. Indiana's had a tendency to be Reggie for a while, then Jalen, then Rick Smits. They need them all together.
A 91% free throw shooter. Miller hits them both. Here's Harper on the move with the left hand. Counted plus the foul. Mark Jackson picks up the personal.
Ron Harper had a great game 1. Now he came out of the block with 8 points in game 1 in the first period. Here he goes to the basket, and Mark Jackson has got to do a job against him. Now you cannot give Ron Harper 12 points. If you're going to keep Kobe at 14 and Glenn Rice at 3, you cannot give Harper 12 points, and that's what's going to be a focus tonight.
Can't complete the 3-point play. Jalen Rose takes the rebound. Here's Smits. He can take that jump hook over Shaq. The difference is he missed the first 3 times he tried in game 1. He hits right off the bat here.
That's a great call, Bob. And you heard his post-game comments in that. He said, I was nervous early. That was a very relaxed move across the lane.
Harper and Miller fouled him.
Well, Ron Harper's being very aggressive this time to foul against Reggie Miller. So Harper looking to be much more offensive-minded than he was during the regular season.
Shaq up top to Bryant. Here's his 3. And Dale Davis grabs the rebound. Smits catch and shoot. Overshot that one.
That's okay. He's got to get, anytime he's got an open shot, he's got to take it.
Miller's on Bryant. Glenn Rice driving on Jalen Rose. rebound battle won by Indiana. Pacers lead it by 2. Jackson looks for help, finds Smits. It pops out for him. Dale Davis grabs the offensive rebound, showing aggressiveness. Miller for 3. Harper pegs it ahead to O'Neal, who doesn't have a field goal attempt yet after almost 3 minutes. That changes. The rebound to AC Green, and the follow is good.
They're going to call that an offensive foul, Bob. They're going to say he wiped off with his left arm. But one of the things is if you're going to prevent Shaq with double teams from scoring, you've got to get on the boards. Jalen Rose has got to get this rebound. He allows AC Green in front. You see the wipeout with the left hand. But already we see much more aggressiveness in the Pacer defense than we did in game 1.
So the basket is negated. Still 6-4 Indiana. To the baseline with the flip that's good.
Reggie's off to a great start. He's got a layup, he's got a jumper, he's got 2 free throws. Exactly what you want to do if you're a scorer.
O'Neal spins on Smits. And Rick fouled him.
The best in the league without the ball, maybe one of the best ever. Reggie Miller sets a little back screen on Shaq, pops out and gets the basketball, and he's going to square up Harper. We told you he's going to funnel him baseline to Shaq. This time, the little giant killer over the big man flips it in the basket, the little teardrop layup by Reggie Miller.
O'Neal to the line early in this game. With 31 field goal attempts, he took only 6 free throws and made just 1 in game 1. In their last regular season meeting, he had 28 shot attempts and only 3 free throws. That shows a lack of aggressiveness defensively by Indiana, which they'll have to correct in this game.
They know they cannot give him 31 field goal attempts, but I think 22, 23 they can live with. 31, they can't do it even with 25.
Jalen Rose. And O'Neal pegs the rebound ahead for Glenn Rice, but it's beyond him, and Indiana takes it back.
Now, Jalen Rose has got to get himself in this game. We talked how important it is. It's a 1-2 punch of he and Reggie Miller. And he has a tendency when Reggie gets it going to stand around and watch. They need to get him a basket.
Mark Jackson lost it. An exchange of turnovers, Laker ball. Indiana is the best shooting team in the NBA, and they've had a lot of good looks here. They've made some of them, but they've also missed the kind of shots they usually put down.
Well, as a coach, if you're getting the shots and you're a good shooting team, you have to think at some point you're going to start making them.
That's what you really don't expect from AC Green, a bonus for the Lakers.
Well, what we've seen here from the Lakers is they haven't gone strictly to Shaq. It looks like they're getting a lot of others involved there early in the game, maybe hoping Shaq will dominate later.
Dale Davis.
Back-to-back jumpers, Dale Davis and AC Green, as you talked about. That's not what we expect from those 2 players, but quietly, Dale Davis has had a tremendous playoff series. Their leading rebounder, and really their one physical presence inside.
Shaq screening for Harper. Here's AC Green again. And Smits takes the rebound. Jalen Rose. He led them in scoring this year. 18.2. Just a fraction ahead of Miller's 18.1. First time in more than a decade that Reggie was not the Pacers' leading scorer. Laker ball after the timeout. Shaquille O'Neal finds AC Green with a nice pass.
Now, Bob, one thing. The Pacers are a team that doesn't double team a lot, so they're very slow with their rotations. That weak side has got to prevent that cutter from getting a layup.
Mark Jackson drives on Kobe Bryant. Green comes over and they block it away. Still 14 seconds to shoot. Jackson for 3. O'Neal with board position on Smits. And a whistle at the other end. The officials are Joe Crawford, then it's Salvatore, and Eddie F. Rush.
That's 2 fouls now on Reggie Miller. That's a way to take yourself out of the game, but but Glenn Rice off the ball is going to flash to that low post. Reggie, little arm wrestling with him as he goes across the lane, and that's a very tough foul. That's number 2.
Here's Miller streaking to the hoop and switching to the left hand. A collision with a cameraman by the basket stanchion. Reggie's okay. And Dave, the cameraman, is shaken, but apparently all right himself.
Well, a tough shot here, and you see Reggie go right into our camera guy. Dave, hopefully he's okay down there.
Here's Bryant, 6 on the shot clock. Reggie defending. Kobe finds Shaq, who powers up for the dunk, plus the foul.
Now see, Rick Smith made a mistake there. Reggie flops back to take the foul, and he frees up Kobe Bryant. And you're going to see Rick Smith come out to contest the shot, and when he does, he leaves Shaquille O'Neal all alone underneath the basket for the power dunk and the foul. What you've got to do is you've got to make Kobe make that shot and stay at home on Shaquille O'Neal. Those are the kind of baskets that kill you.
With 2 fouls, Miller has to go out. He's already scored 8 points, exceeding his game 1 total. Just halfway through the first quarter, Austin Crozier comes in to replace him. 3-point play by Shaq brings the Lakers to within 2. And Rice fouls Crozier.
Remember now, Crozier had a tremendous game off the bench in game 1. Bobby came in, had 16 points, shot the ball well, 6 of 7, had 6 rebounds, and really gave them a lift. And they're going to need that tonight with Reggie already here in foul trouble in the first period.
Jalen Rose got it away over Kobe Bryant. Here's Glenn Rice drilling the 3.
He was 1 for 8 in game 1. You expect him as a better shooter to be able to make more shots. Already off to a much better start.
Crozier took it right in against Shaq, but couldn't finish it. Here comes Bryant out of the pack, shoveling it to Harper, and Harper lays it in.
The Lakers are really not a running team. They're a power team, but they will run on opportunity, and Indiana does not have great foot speed. They've got to protect the backcourt. Too many layups here.
The Lakers take the lead. Smith steps back, and his jumper over Shaq spins out, but you can see he can get his shots against O'Neal. On the other hand, he can't defend him. He fouls him there.
Again, the Lakers are not known as a fast break team, but when they can break out of the pack and have numbers, they will. And once again, Ron Harper off to a terrific start. And you know, Showtime, that running game, who loves it? Nobody better than Magic Johnson. He loves what he sees here early as the Lakers are off and running.
O'Neal has made 2 of his first 4 free throws. Smits has to sit down with the 2 fouls, and Sam Perkins replaces him.
That last foul that Rick Smits got was not a good foul. He just came over the back and pushed him. That's not the kind of fouls you want to commit. When you're caught in that position, Bob, just sort of hold yourself in there. If he catches the ball, you're going to expect to get some help. But now Rick Smits is down, Reggie Miller's down. They've got to have somebody now come in here and pick up this pace.
AC Green out now for the Lakers. Robert Horry in. That one was flat, a bad-looking shot, and Jackson has the rebound. Jalen Rose working on Kobe, who poked it away, but it comes to Perkins. Rose again, he feels confident against Bryant, and why not?
Well, Rose and Miller have both gotten the message from their coach, Larry Bird. We expect you to shoot, keep shooting, and knock the ball in the basket, and both of them have gotten off to very good starts here tonight.
Perkins trying to contend with O'Neal. Harper, all kinds of time, and hits the 3, essentially a set shot. No one came anywhere near him. Rose against Kobe again. Takes it into the lane, and a whistle. Jalen Rose did not shoot a free throw in game 1. Normally he's a slashing type player. He's got to get to the line, and he does now.
No, Ron Harper is right over here in the lower right-hand corner. He's going to fade back behind that three-point line. Again, Indiana does not like to double team, but you've got to give up that shot. We've talked about limiting Shaq's shot attempts, and they are. And if Ron Harper's going to knock the shots in, Bob, you've got a better chance beating the Lakers that way than being overpowered with 64 points in the paint like happened in game 1.
Harper's already scored 7. That equals his regular season average. He had 12 in game 1. He has chipped in points at crucial times throughout these playoffs. Rose hits both free throws and ties the game at 20. Kobe Bryant.
Looks like he sprained his ankle when Kobe came down. He's on the floor.
And he's writhing in pain, holding his left ankle. Meanwhile, Rose guns a 3 at the other end. Shaq takes the rebound. The Lakers have a break. Harper lays it in, but the greater concern is Kobe Bryant.
Now, Kobe came down as he shot that jumper. Now they're going to have to take the foul. But, Bob, tell me, how can this happen? You've got 5 on 4. You shoot a jumper, and they shoot a layup at the other end with one of their players laying on the floor. How can the Lakers do that? Where is Indiana's defense getting back?
And as soon as we have any information, Ahmad will pass it along. The Lakers had to foul Mark Jackson just to stop the clock and get Kobe off the floor. So Mark is at the line.
Wow.
And what a brick that was.
That wasn't even close. I thought Mark Jackson was one of 2 Pacers that had a good first game. He and Austin Crosher. I thought everybody else was very subpar in that first game, Bob.
The Pacers are the best free throw shooting team in the NBA. Only Seattle was worse than the Lakers in that department, although a lot of that, of course, is on Shaquille O'Neal. Horry dumps it into Shaq. Perkins on him. There's the return pass to Horry, but it spills off the lip of the rim and into the hands of Davis. But the Lakers have shown an ability to do that repeatedly in this first quarter.
Well, the weak side defense is not getting over, and that cutter's wide open. That was Austin Crosher that time.
Jackson for 3. And it bounces to Rice. Rick Fox had it knocked away by Crosher. He chases it down and lays it in.
Now, those are the kind of hustle plays that will make Larry Bird smile. The ball was knocked loose. Austin Crosher picks it up, outruns Harper, and lays it in the basket. But one of the things that Bird was upset in game 1 was his team's lack of aggressiveness, getting loose balls, rebounding, all the little things that you have to do to win.
Rice to Harper on the drive, and Ron Harper has scored 11 first-quarter points.
That will destroy Larry Bird. I mean, here you got Shaq a little bit under control, and now Harper has 11.
Crosher showing no fear, and one of the Lakers fouled him. The foul was on Shaq, his first.
Well, Mark Jackson knows better than this. He's played against this offense numerous times when Chicago ran it, and you've got to get back and you've got to be able to play against that cutter on that weak side, and he does not do it. So Mark Jackson, after a terrific game 1, has come out of here and struggled tonight, especially on the defensive end.
He's replaced by Travis Best as Crosher hits the free throw. Ron Harper is 5 for 5 from the floor. He was 4 of 6 in game 1, so he's hit 9 of 11 in the series.
Well, Derek Fisher now has checked in for the Lakers, and this is the chess match that we talked about. Anytime Best comes in, Fisher's going to come in to play him. Did a nice job in the first game. Best was only 2 of 7, so Fisher did his job.
Lakers by 1. Glenn Rice. And Crosher snatches the rebound. Jalen Rose guarded by Rice this time. On the drive, contact but no whistle. Rice dives to the floor to save it as Fox brings it back the other way. Intended for O'Neal, poked away, and Best has the steal. Here's Crosher. Finds McKee. And as Shaq pulls it in, the Lakers slow it down. O'Neal in the paint. Perkins grabs him right away, sensing that he was at his mercy. As we check with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. I just spoke with the Lakers PR director, John Black, and the report is that Kobe has a sprained left ankle, but they are retaping it, and he will come out and try to continue to play. Bob?
Good news for the Lakers. At first, it looked as if it might be more serious than that.
Well, the sooner he can get back out here and test it, the better he will be. The longer you sit and you start putting ice on it and the thing starts to stiffen up, it's very difficult to get back. And Kobe's game is based on speed, quickness, and slashing. So remember now, he had the foot problem in the Portland series, but bounced back well from that injury.
With that miss, Shaq is now 3 for 12 in the series at the line. Rice goes out. Brian Shaw, a valuable contributor in the playoffs, especially the last round against Portland, comes in. And another miss.
You look at the free throw attempts tonight. Already 7 free throw attempts for Shaq tonight in the first quarter. Only all of 6 of the whole game. He only had 6 in game 1. So you can see the strategy has changed already.
And when he only makes 2 of them, it's not such a bad strategy. Ori fouled McKee.
The thing you have to do, though, if you're going to foul Shaq, Bob, is you got to make sure that your big guys aren't taking all the fouls because they're thin on the front line. So the double team guys have to come down and give you some help and take some of those fouls.
And folks, you can log on to msnbcsports.com and click on Showtime Online for in-depth coverage of the NBA Finals. Visual interactives, including Bill Walton explaining the intricacies of the Lakers' triangle offense, plus analysis and commentary on NBA topics from Isaiah Thomas, Steve Jones, Matt Dukas, and Peter Bessing. msnbcsports.com, the official website of NBC Sports. The game's tied as McKee hits 1 of 2.
I said that the Pacers must win the first quarter. They're even. They get a stop here. They'll have a chance with a score to win the first period.
Here's Robert Horry. Now Rick Fox blocked by Crozier. Still Laker ball, 10 on the shot clock.
Boy, Austin Crozier is playing terrific basketball. He had his ups and downs in the earlier rounds, but here he comes over this time with the big shot blocked against Rick Fox.
O'Neal, turnaround from near the foul line, and he hits it.
That's okay. That's not one of those shots where you're laying it up or dunking it. At least he forced him to make a jump shot.
Indiana can live with that. Game clock overlaps the shot clock by about 4 seconds. Perkins, this is his specialty. Shot it long. Rose knocked it away.
Great hustle play by Jalen Rose. Terrific.
Fox. Fisher. He can beat the buzzer with this, but he can't hit it. Travis Best to the front court as the second quarter begins. Derek McKee working on Robert Horry. Spins baseline. Trying to follow his own shot, but Horry takes it away.
Everything but the finish.
O'Neal out of the double team to Shaw. And it rattles out for him. Perkins takes it. Crozier backs in on Fox. Gives it up to Rose for the jumper. It goes out of bounds. Laker ball.
Well, as we look out and see Brian Shaw, ironically, the only reason he is on this Laker team is that in preseason, Kobe broke his hand. Had he not, they would have probably waived him. Now he sprains his ankle, and he's in for him tonight. So he has been a major part of this team through injuries to Kobe Bryant.
O'Neal's pass intended for Horry knocked away. Shaq recovers it, and they foul him. Foul is Derek McKee's first. McKee, like so many of these Pacers, finally getting a taste of the finals after more than a decade in the NBA. This is his 13th year out of Clemson.
You see the difference here already tonight in game 2 is in game 1 that would have been a dunk for Shaq and maybe a 3-point play. They didn't even let him get his arms up to the basket, and that's what you have to do. You have to make him shoot free throws.
Shaq is now 2 for 8. The only Pacers with finals experience are Sam Perkins, who was with the Lakers in '91 and the Sonics in '96, losing causes both, and of course their coach Larry Bird. Jean Tabak was on the roster of the Rockets in the mid-90s, but he never played a minute in the finals. 2 of 9 for O'Neal.
Let's see if Travis Bass can start attacking against Derek Fisher. He needs to score for this second unit.
Crozier drives on Fox and misses the little jumper in the lane, but McKee is there on the offensive glass. Here's Perkins camped out for 3. McKee again. Off Perkins' hands and grabbed by Shaw. It's a 3-on-1 break. Best is the only man back. Fisher pulls up and banks it in.
The transition defense for Indiana has been very poor here in this first quarter and a half. They've got to get back. Lakers getting too many easy shots against their defense in the open floor.
Jalen Rose driving on Shaw, and Shaq blocks it. Fox to Shaw. Cut off by Crozier and a foul.
And no double teams could happen. If you pressure the ball, slow them down, now you're in a position to go back and help on Shaq. And Indiana's done a much better job of that tonight. That's what Phil was talking to his team about.
Brian Shaw, a Celtic teammate of Larry Bird's in the early 90s, hits both free throws. The Lakers lead by 4. Indiana, a top-flight three-point shooting team, is 0 for 5 from beyond the arc in this game. Here's Jalen Rose in traffic, and somebody fouled him.
I really like the aggressiveness of Jalen Rose. Rather than settling for the outside jump shot on that possession, he was able to get in the lane, and when you get in there, you throw your body around and create contact. Don't go away from contact. Just go to the contact, throw your arms in there, throw your arm up in the air, and beg for a foul. That's what he did, and he got it.
It was Derek Fisher who picked up the personal, his first. Jalen Rose says of the Pacers, the sense of urgency is high. We have to play as if this is the last go-round for this team. They have 6 free agents on the roster and a number of players getting up there in years.
Well, he's one of those free agents, and Indiana desperately wants to keep him, so we'll have to see what happens. Reggie Miller sitting on the bench a long time after a great start. Will he cool off? When he comes back in, can he get right back into the game?
O'Neal out high, hands it to Shaw. Bryant Shaw to the left hand. Crozier got a piece of it, and McKee takes it. Crozier inside.
He is so active tonight, running the floor on every possession. This is the best I've ever seen him play.
6 points for the third-year man from Providence. O'Neal over Perkins. Going to follow his own here and score, plus the foul.
That's just one of those baskets. You're not going to stop me. He got the ball so deep in the lane, missed the first shot, but did not quit on it. This is where Shaq is so good. He is so quick off his feet going back, and then it's just like, I'm going to power to the basket, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 guys, and you will not stop this.
A whistle on the rebound as Shaq now goes to a woeful 2 for 10 on his free throws, but Perkins is hit with a foul, and that's his second.
How often do we talk about when Shaquille O'Neal is shooting free throws, you must block off. He's going to miss a lot of free throws. That was just a situation where they lost concentration, and they get a foul on the play.
Fisher's all alone for 3. O'Neal just goes over Perkins, but can't hit the follow shot, and finally Perkins has the rebound for Indiana. Jalen Rose spinning through traffic to Crozier. Took it right at O'Neal, but couldn't finish it. Crozier has no fear, apparently.
Well, the pace of this game is very quick right now. I think that favors the Pacers if they can keep this tempo up.
Robert Horry runs into Crozier, and they're going to call it on Crozier of Indiana, his second.
Robert Horry is down. It looks like he might have got the wind knocked out of him a little bit as he took the shot of going to the basket from Crozier. Reggie Miller's coming back in, but watch Horry here as he goes to the basket. Austin Crochet needs him to take one more slide over, and if he did, he would have gotten the foul on Robert Horry. Now let's see if Reggie can get right back into the flow of the game. He's been sitting for a long time. You see, he actually missed about 8:20, but he got almost a 30-minute rest, so he should be fresh. The question is, has he cooled off?
Horry, who was on 2 title-winning teams with Houston in the mid-90s, misses the first. And Travis Knight comes in now. Shaquille O'Neal sits down. To this point, he's had only 5 field goal attempts. Well, that graphic differs with my totals, but either 5 or 6, take your pick. Here comes Jean Tabak for the first time, replacing Sam Perkins.
Now you're saying, what's going on here? Well, the pace of this game is so fast. Normally Shaquille will play 47, 48 minutes. I think Phil Jackson recognizes he's got to give the big man a little bit of a rest. And with Travis Knight in the game, Larry Bird says, I'll rest Perkins and Smits and let Jean Tabak get a few minutes. So this is just the things that happen as the series goes on.
Jalen Rose with Fox on him. And Eddie Rush says, hold on. There's a Laker foul. Just to finish up the thought on Shaq as he went out of the lineup here with a little more than 8 minutes to play in the second quarter. He has only 6 field goal attempts to this point. He got off 31 shots in game 1. He took only 6 free throws in game 1, and he has 10 already, hitting only 2 of them. And we're not halfway through the second quarter yet in this game, so that's a complete change.
Well, you know, again, we talked about in our open, Bob, you can't simulate playing against Shaquille O'Neal. Your plan might be really good and looks really good, and then all of a sudden you get there and you go, wait a second, he's faster than the guy we had in there in practice. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's more powerful, and your guys recognize that, and then they get into it as the series goes on, and that's what you're seeing here a little bit tonight. Now, I think this is a great move by Larry Bird. With Shaq out of the game, come back with Rick Smits. Get him going with Shaq sitting. It might force Phil's hand to bring Shaq back into the game and tire him out. So we'll have to see what happens here if Smits can get some offense.
Indiana cuts it to 2. Rick Fox. And Fox, who was a big contributor off the bench in the opener with 11 points and 4 rebounds, gets his first basket of this game.
Now go inside to Smits against Travis Knight. This is what he's on the floor, throwing the ball in the post.
Davis into the paint, turn around, go. Robert Horry's jumper. Reggie Miller with the rebound. Pacers can tie or take the lead with a 3. It's Jalen Rose, and he was fouled.
Nothing frustrates a coach more than when you foul a jump shooter. When you reach in, it's a lazy play, and you just reach your arm out and you tap him. And Phil Jackson can't be happy about that, as Jalen Rose now will shoot 2 free throws.
And the second foul on Rick Fox. Glenn Rice and Shaquille O'Neal are going to come back in. Sunday after game 3 of the NBA Finals, it's a special Sunday Daddy-O. It's the season's #1 new comedy, and it's moving to NBC on Mondays this fall. You'll see it this Sunday after game 3. And there's Daddy-O himself, Michael Chiklis, courtside. Amazing how these NBC types are able to score excellent seats for key games.
I saw you talking to Daddy-O before the game.
Laker lead is 1. O'Neal with Smits on him. Hands to Shaw. 5 seconds to shoot, and O'Neal will. Didn't draw iron. Miller's got it for Indiana. Jalen Rose spins and hits.
Rose having a terrific game. He's not living with that jump shot. He's getting that low post area. He's posting up, going outside, beating you on the drive, getting to the free throw line. This is a different Pacer team than we saw in game 1. The pride has surfaced. Indiana's got to dig in and try to get this game. If they do, they get the home court back. That's how things swing.
Here's Rice. O'Neal chasing after the rebound. Jean Tabak was right with him. And there's a loose ball foul on Tabak, his first. But part of the Pacers' strategy here, with Shaq having a very bad night at the free throw line, is to let Tabak use some of those fouls on O'Neal.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Remember now, before this series started, Larry Bird said, you know, we're not going to do that. But then you play game one and you realize we might have to do whatever we have to do. You see Shaq go up there, and he's very flat tonight. Bob, you said it earlier. He's shooting line drives, and that's when he gets himself in trouble. Usually he doesn't bend his knees. His shot gets very flat. Let's see if he can lift this one a little bit better.
Not much knee bend at all, but he did get some arc on that shot.
That's, you know, if it's a shot is flat, you have less margin for error, and Shaq knows that. He's got to get his shot up.
Tied at 38. Miller. Harper up on it. Dale Davis lost it. 5 seconds as he gives it to Miller. Reggie with the running one-hander.
Now, the other night he couldn't make a shot. Now he's feeling it. That was a difficult shot on the run off the wrong foot to beat the clock.
And he's hit 4 of 5. O'Neal and Tabak fouls him.
Now that's by plan. That's why he's in there, Bob. You talked about that just a while ago. He's going to foul him and make him make free throws. Shot clock winding down. And Reggie Miller steps in, gets away with a little walk off the wrong foot, the little runner. I don't know if anybody in the league shoots the runner better than he does.
In one stretch in the Portland series, O'Neal made 15 consecutive free throws. In this game, he's 3 for 13.
But you said it best in that series. Even when he made 15 in a row, he's a work in progress. He's always going to have his ups and his downs. Now, if you're going to do this, you've got to make sure you're scoring, so you're trading 2 for 1. It doesn't do you any good to foul him, and he gets a point, and you come down and not score. That's where Portland got themselves in trouble in that Hack-a-Shaq game.
Here's Tabak. Can he contribute? Not this time. And the rebound to Shaq. It for Shaq, who finishes it, and they tack on the foul.
When Brian Shaw is in the corner, you cannot let Shaq roll off of you. This is their play. They did this in Orlando. They're doing it here. See, Tabak has got to lay in behind him. If he's in there to get fouls, let him catch the ball and then foul him. Not foul him after a spectacular play. But what about the grace of this big man? He goes up strong and finishes, and you see Larry Bird saying, that's not what I want.
Three-point play. 13 points for Shaq, 5 of 15 at the line. And Tabak has picked up 3 fouls in about a minute and a half. Best. The rebound to Ori. Lakers by 2 inside 5 minutes. Here's Harper to the hoop. Doesn't get the roll, and Rose takes it.
Travis Best has got to give him some, Bob. He's been on the floor. We don't even know he's out there right now. He's a guy who's supposed to be a little motor to energize this team.
Dale Davis. Tabak has it. Rose will try a 3. They still can't buy one from beyond the arc. Normally one of their strengths. They're 0 for 6 in this game. O'Neal. Well, if he's going to make those, you're in deep, deep trouble.
Yeah, you don't want to foul him when he's shooting that shot. That's a smart play by Tabak to not foul him there. That's just a great shot. And I think Larry Bird said we're going to take a timeout and talk it over as he wants to get Mark Jackson in the game. Lakers on a little surge here to take a 4-point lead.
Last year, Tabak played in Turkey. I don't know that there's anybody like Shaq in Istanbul. Dale Davis got the bounce.
See, Reggie Miller's talking to Mark Jackson. Get up, pressure the ball. Don't let them get into their offense so easily.
Ori looking for O'Neal. Smith's draped all over him. Back to Horry for a three. And it bounces over the glass. Indiana ball. They trail by 2.
See, that's what you got to do, though. Dale Davis goes down to the double team man. They kick it out to Horry, and Horry in the playoffs shooting 14 for 44 from the three-point line coming in tonight, less than 32%.
Jalen Rose. Dale Davis against Horry. Backs into the paint for the jumper. Clock ticking down toward 3 minutes. Lakers with the ball and the 2-point lead. Shaw. He's got it back. Slides through, and Smith's fouled him.
Well, you don't see Glenn Rice make those kind of moves, but that's a big play. I think that's going to be Rick Smith's 3rd foul. Little dribble here. Watch him split the defenders right there. Little crossover dribble. Has the ball nice and low, and here comes Smith, so he picks up his 3rd foul, so he'll have to sit down as Glenn Rice with the aggressive move is going to go to the free throw line.
Reggie is out. Smiths is out. They've got Perkins, Crozier, Jackson, Jalen Rose, and Dale Davis on the floor.
Well, Reggie Miller, I don't think is real happy about sitting on the bench right now. 2:37 to go. The only reason I can think he's over there is that he has 2 fouls, and that Larry Bird does not want him to pick up his 3rd going into halftime. But this 2:37, you know, Reggie never really got it going. He made that one little running shot against the clock. But they do not want to fall behind here going in at halftime.
The 3 players Larry Bird has thrown at Shaq, Smiths, Perkins, and Tabak, have combined for 2 points and 8 fouls.
But they have taken away his shot attempts. They've taken away points in the paint, and they've done their jobs.
But Smiths can score.
Yes, yes. And you don't want Smith picking up 3 fouls, no question.
Jalen Rose. The follow by Davis. Count it plus the foul.
Well, Dale Davis, that's what he does best right there. Big, strong, a terrific offensive rebounder. And again, he's the most physical player on this team. The little bump there, Jalen Rose, and Dale Davis with a powerful finish and the foul. That's why anytime that ball is loose up there and you can get 2 hands on it, you want to take it and power it in all in one motion.
Shaq commits his 2nd. Pacers are within 1. Glenn Rice with Crozier on him. Unleashes a 3 and hits it.
You got to make him put it on the floor, Bob.
He is the only Laker who hit better than 36% on threes for the season. Indiana has 8 players who can make that claim, but they really haven't gotten off from beyond the arc, speaking of the Pacers in this game. Crozier overshot it into the arms of O'Neal.
I don't like that shot. Better get up on Rice. He's hot.
Cools off with that one, and Davis grabs the rebound. Jackson flings it ahead for Crozier. Perkins.
They are so aware of Perkins. When he catches that ball, they spread at him so he can't shoot that 3.
Jalen Rose penetrates, pulls up, and hits.
So they chased him off that 3-point line. He's got the mid-range game going tonight. He's gotten to the basket, to the free throw line, and that little middle jumper going. He's been great.
18 points for Jalen Rose. O'Neal double teamed. Here's Harper driving. Back to Shaq. And a whistle.
Just because you can shoot the 3 well doesn't mean you have to fall in love with that shot. And Harper chases him off of it, and that little medium pull-up range jump shot, something we see as sort of a lost art in the NBA. But if you can get all the way to the basket, you can shoot the 3 and you can make that shot, you're a complete offensive player. That's why he was the most improved player in the NBA this year with moves like that.
Shaq is now 5 of 16 at the line in this game. The foul was on Dale Davis. his second. Missed them both. And Jackson has it for Indiana. Again looking to tie. Jalen Rose with the hot hand. Brian Shaw trying to stop him. Davis screening for him. Davis has got it back. They got to shoot. He lets it go at the last instant. It's an air ball and therefore a 24-second violation. They weren't aware of it until the last second.
Well, Dale Davis at least looked up at the shot clock. It was just a little bit too late. 20-second timeout here by the Lakers. They're probably going to set up a play here to maybe get a quick 2-for-1 possession.
Here's Glenn Rice for three.
Quick 2-for-1 possession is what Phil drew up, and they ran it perfectly. You got to stay with Glenn Rice. You come off of him and Harper finds him. They ran that play perfectly. Now they're going to get the ball back with a chance to score once again.
Rice has tried 3 3-pointers. He's hit them all. Now it's Crozier.
Wow.
5 seconds. Harper guns a 3, misses it. Out of bounds. 0.8 of a second left. But it's still Laker ball, so they have time for a quick catch and shoot.
Be aware of Rice. They love to step him back, catch it real quick, and shoot it.
They lob it up towards Shaq, who tried to tap it to the hoop, and that's the way the first half ends. The Pacers trail it by 3. But the Lakers will be without Kobe Bryant for at least the remainder of this game. And Jim Gray is with Reggie Miller.
All right, thank you very much, Bob. Reggie, Kobe Bryant's out for the game. Is it now imperative that you guys take advantage of that and win this game without him?
Well, you know, they have a lot of backups on this team, and Glenn Rice is starting to catch fire and look like he's taking the place of Kobe. So we're going to have to shore up our defense a little bit, and we can't rest on the laurels just because Kobe's out. It's a sure thing.
You came out firing. Will you do the same thing in the second half? And did the foul trouble inhibit you a little bit toward the end of the first half here?
Oh, definitely. Anytime you're on the bench, you know, you can't really contribute for your team, but you know, now I only got 2 fouls. I look to remain aggressive in the third and fourth quarter. Barring I don't pick up no fouls.
All right, Reggie, good luck in the second half.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, Bob, back over to you.
That was Reggie's first shot of the night. That's the way the night began for him.
Quick update on Kobe Bryant. As we mentioned earlier, moderate sprain, x-rays were negative. I talked to trainer Gary Vitti. He said that they have already started his therapy. They've used 2 or 3 different kinds of ice. They've got him on range of motion exercises, hopefully trying to get him ready for Sunday, but right now he is day-to-day. Bob?
Ahmad, thanks. This is not to minimize the importance and the greatness of a young star like Kobe Bryant. But they can win without him, at least in the short term, as Smits goes up with the hook and connects. In the playoffs, in games where Kobe Bryant scores 30 or more, the Lakers are 1-3. When Shaq scores 30 or more, they're 7-1. Here's Shaw, who's starting for Bryant. Glenn Rice, turnaround jumper. Misses off the glass, and Jackson takes the rebound. The Pacers can take the lead if they score here. Smits is open. He fakes his way past Shaq and then misses the shot. Davis swats it out of bounds. Indy touched it last. Here's Shaw.
It's amazing. It seems like the Lakers always come up with a guy to make a shot at the right time for them. We saw it in the Portland series with Shaw. Tonight hits a big jumper as Rose misses.
Smits rebounds and gives it to Reggie. Now he screens for him, and Miller fires home the jumper.
See, I like that. The Lakers like to send to the sideline, to the baseline on that screen roll. They screened that way, and he was able to step up and get the shot before Shaq could get a handout on him.
And after a 1 for 16 opener, Miller is 5 for 6. He's got Rice, who fakes his way by him and connects again.
You made a great point. Glenn Rice is going to be the guy now. That's 15 points for him already in the game after 3 points in game 1. They've got to lock in him. With Kobe out, they have to put more on Shaq.
Here's Miller. He couldn't hit the reverse after a nice pass from Smits. Lakers by 3.
Remember now, Smits has 3 fouls. He's got to stay away from his 4th.
And O'Neal scores on it. Shaq with 17. Despite shooting 5 of 17 at the free throw line. Jackson backs up for 3. And that's the first three-pointer of the night for Indiana after 6 misses.
Well, Travis Best and Mark Jackson were 0 for 4 in that first half with 1 point. They split to 24 minutes, so they need some production from those 2 guys.
Rice over Miller. And the ball over the backboard. Possession to the Pacers.
See, they go back to that screen roll once again with Mark Jackson and Rick Smits. That's the play they want to run right now. They switched it the last time down the floor, and Jackson got a 3-point shot.
Smits driving on AC Green, dishing out to Miller for 3. Reggie overshot it. An air ball into Shaq's hands, and now Miller is hearing it from the Staples Center crowd.
And he loves it. That's the things that gets him going. You know that.
Ron Harper continues to contribute.
Reggie's got to do a better job on defense now. You cannot let Harper step up and be the 3rd guy. He's got 13 points already in this game.
Miller into the paint, back out to Jackson. Harper knocked it away. Jackson recovers. 6 seconds to shoot. Jalen Rose around Rice for the pull-up.
Oh, it's a goaltend.
And the officials agree. Joe Crawford makes the call. Credit the basket to Rose. The goaltending call on Shaq.
You see here now the ball is going to be in the cylinders. It comes down right there, and Shaq wipes it away. That's a good call.
Harper from Green. He's off with that one. Again, the Pacers look to tie. Dale Davis. O'Neal had it poked away by Smits, and Smits commits foul number 4.
See, those are the fouls that Rick Smits that you just can't get. He had no chance to get that ball. You've just got to get back on defense. He goes in, now he's going to take himself out of the game. Now remember, Larry Bird left him in the other night with 4, and he picked up his 5th foul the next possession.
Bryant Shaw guns a 3. Way off. And Jalen Rose scoops it up. Reggie Miller leaning in, and his purpose was to draw a foul, and he succeeded.
He is so good at that. He just flails arms and legs. He kicks his legs out and leans right in. Watch the beautiful shot fake right there, just enough for Bryant Shaw to bite on it. And Reggie says, you know what, I'm going to the free throw line for 2.
And this game is as good as tied since he's a better than 90% free throw shooter. Here's Jim Gray.
All right, thanks, Bob. Well, at halftime, Rick Carlisle, assistant coach, told me that Reggie Miller, in all likelihood, will play all 24 minutes since he only played 12 in the first half and did not pick up his 3rd foul. On the hack-a-shack, they are going to continue to foul Shaquille O'Neal. No easy baskets. He was 5 for 10 at halftime and 5 for 17 from the foul line, so they're just going to play the percentages. And they also talked at halftime, Larry Bird, about a door open here. They must take advantage. It's even more essential now to beat the Lakers on their home court with Kobe Bryant. They may not have another opportunity like this. Bob?
Thanks, Jim. Pretty clear, Doug, that this is their best shot to steal one in L.A. Here's Shaq in the lane, and as soon as he made the catch, there's a whistle.
It's going to be Rick Smits' 5th foul. He just reached out and bumped him. He was telling Dale Dale Davis, you take him. I've got 4 fouls. There was miscommunication. Now Smits is going to have to sit down.
He's been on the floor for 15 minutes tonight with 5 fouls. He played 20 minutes before fouling out in game 1. Glenn Rice off the fake, stumbles, manages to find AC Green, but the 24-second clock expires.
We have talked so often about how this triangle offense revolves around Shaq. And when it's in rhythm, everybody plays well. We see Rick Smits with fouls, but tonight it's not as easy. They're out of rhythm. The Pacers are right there. Now they must score.
Shaw's on Miller. Out to Jackson. Looking for Reggie. Bounces it to him, and he lays it up over Shaq. No good. Davis's tip won't drop, and it's still a tie game. Here's Harper on the move. Ron Harper with 15 points. The Pacers try to come back quickly. They spot Reggie up for 3.
See, you can't give him those kind of baskets. Phil Jackson knows that. He saw that in Chicago. Those are the kind of things that Reggie loves, to ignite his team with that kind of shooting.
The Pacers have the lead. Jackson now on Rice. Looking for O'Neal. And an illegal defense is called on the Pacers.
Reggie's going to make a nice backdoor play. Looks like he never has complete control of the ball. And there's Shaq once again. Dale Davis tries to dunk the ball. And again, Ron Harper, here's a guy, if you are Indiana, you cannot give him these kind of easy baskets.
Back live, Bryant Shaw fires a 3 and misses it. AC Green wins the battle for the rebound.
Second shots now. We've got to do the job on the boards. Only 6 offensive rebounds in the first half for the Lakers.
Here's Bryant Shaw into the lane, throws up that little teardrop shot that's no good. And O'Neal is hammered as he tries to go up with the follow.
Lakers are one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the NBA. They had 17 offensive rebounds in the earlier series, only 9 against Portland, 14 in game 1. And right now they're staying in the game with second shot opportunities. Shaq just goes up and overpowers Indiana's front line. Back to the free throw line. He's going to have to make some free throws tonight as we see 5 of 17. This is going to continue.
There you go. That was his first attempt of the second half. And he's 6 for 17 overall. Part of the problem, if they decide to go to Hack-a-Shaq, that means they have to put Tabak on the floor for a while, because Davis now has 3 fouls. Smits is on the bench with 5. They don't have that many to use up anymore.
Well, and the one thing you're going to do, if you're going to foul Shaq, you have to do it as such where he doesn't get into a rhythm. See, Portland, when they did it, he started going up there and got into a rhythm.
Jalen Rose. 22 points for Jalen Rose now.
Well, and he started it out. It wasn't like he drifted away in that first quarter. He got involved even with Reggie, and both of those 2 guys are on tonight. That's a positive sign for Indiana.
Perkins, who has 2 fouls, guarding Shaq. Jackson over with the help. Shaq with the spin move. Ball knocked around. Green up with Davis, and Jackson finally takes it. Here comes Reggie.
Perkins will shoot a 3 here if Shaq helps.
Reggie up and under, a wild shot, and O'Neal has it for LA. Here's Shaw in transition. He throws up a hook, and Davis blocks it back in his face. Miller sprints out. Easy 2.
See, I think you got to be very careful with the Lakers right now, because the Pacers have them scrambling. They've got them in a game right now that Phil Jackson does not want to play. They want to play rhythm basketball, get it into Shaq. This kind of game right now, Shaq can't get into it.
They get it to him deep in the paint. Jackson came over. There were 3 Pacers there. And let's see who the foul is against. It is Jackson, his second.
Open floor game here. Bryant Shaw takes a tough shot, and here comes Dale Davis hustling back into the play. And then the Lakers don't cover the backcourt. Now here's a guy, Reggie Miller, who was 1 for 16 in game 1. You don't want to give him these kind of baskets.
O'Neal now 7 for 20 at the line. Meantime, back to Miller. He shot 7 for 12 tonight.
And Bird said, you know, the sign of a great shooter, Reggie's not a guy who's going to shoot 1 for 16 and then back away from it. He's a guy who will look to take 30 shots. And Reggie got off good in that first quarter. He got to the free throw line, he got a layup, and once that, he got his nice rhythm.
Pacers by a basket.
Miller and Rose already tonight over 40. Now, we talked about during the playoffs, they averaged over 42. In game one, only 19 points.
Reggie comes off the screen set by Perkins, now returns it to him. Perkins on the drive. Here's Jackson taking it and gunning up a shot, but Bennett Salvatore spotted a foul before the release. And it's on Ron Harper, his third. Robert Horry checks back in now for the Lakers.
And this is basically what we've seen throughout the playoffs. Usually AC Green plays the first 7 or 8 minutes of the first period and the third, and then Robert Horry gets the bulk of the minutes.
Miller against Shaw. Out to Jackson for 3. Shaw back the other way. Rose on Rice. 5 seconds to shoot. Robert Horry. Big move.
Again, timely shooting. Robert Horry, Bryant Shaw, we saw it in that Portland series in game 4. They have not shot it well. They've shot it well at the right time.
That was Horry's first field goal, but it ties the game. Perkins. And hold on, says Eddie Rush.
I tell you, Sam Perkins, Indiana runs plays for him. They screen for him to come out and shoot 3-point shots. It's so hard when you're a big guy to cover him because you want to lay back in the lane, and that's what he gives them. The big thing is he's got to knock some of these in. He's been in a woeful shooting slump in the playoffs, and they need him to be able to do that to get Shaq out of the lane. Right now, Shaq's playing Dale Davis to take away his post game.
Mark Jackson with the floater. Shaw with the rebound. Horry dumps it into Shaq over Perkins, who fouled him. But he started 2 for 11. He's hit 6 of his last 10. The NBA Finals record, as you see, most free throw attempts in a game, you would think it would be Wilt, but no. Bob Pettit of the then St. Louis Hawks in 1958 against Bill Russell, Bob Cousy, and the Celtics.
Well, let's take a look here to see whether he gets some arch on it. Gives it a chance to go in. Lifted that one pretty nicely. It's amazing, Bob. He starts out and he gets into a rut, like 2 for 11, and then he gets a rhythm and he starts making them. We've seen this happen throughout the playoffs.
One of 2, and Davis rebounds.
Now, Larry Bird told his team in that timeout, 2:53 to go in this quarter. We've got to finish strong. No lapses at the end of this period.
Here's Jalen Rose. Shot clock at 6. Rose against Rice. Loses him and misses the jumper. The rebound was O'Neal's 16th. He had 19 in game 1. Rose over on the double. They swing it up top to Rice. And Rice is on fire from downtown tonight.
You don't want to leave Glenn Rice. You don't want to rotate and let him shoot the basketball. That's the last thing Larry Bird wants to see.
4 3-point attempts. He's hit them all. Jalen Rose into the lane with the floater that is no good, and Shaq wrests the rebound away from Davis.
Here's that little lapse that Larry Bird said he did not want to have. It's now a 4-point game. Lakers have a chance to push it to 6. 7 with the 3.
And the crowd alive at Staples Center. Jackson deflects it into the hands of Davis. So a Laker turnover. Jackson pulls up for 3. That could have quieted the crowd, but instead it comes up short.
My question is why? Why do you take that shot?
I think he was trying to change the momentum. Cross court to Rice. Can he make it 5? Not this time. Sam Perkins. Shaw got right up on him to deny him the 3. Now Perkins inside, but here's Shaq. You could see it coming from our vantage point, even if Perkins didn't. Shaq was closing ground on him. There was no way that shot was going to see the rim.
Well, see, the reason this happens is because Shaq is playing against Dale Davis, who is standing right underneath the basket. So Shaq is right there to block any shot. That's why your big men have to be able to make shots against Shaq to get him out of there.
Austin Crozier, shot clock at 6. Reggie Miller on the move. The reverse won't go. Crozier is there, up against Shaq, and a foul. Horry was also on the scene, and they slap O'Neal with the personal, his 3rd.
I will tell you this, when Austin Crozier has come into the game, he's given him immediate lift. Reggie driving to the basket, and there is Crozier. As Horry went over to block the shot, no one blocked him off the boards. He goes right up strong. Now he's going to go to the line.
This Crozier is a tough customer. In his very first exhibition game as a rookie, he took a tumble and thought he had broken his left hand. His coach, Larry Bird, came out to check on him and said, "Welcome to the NBA. Now get up and make these free throws."
Well, nobody was tougher than Larry Bird. And you know, it's interesting. One of the reasons why they traded Antonio Davis was they said, we feel like that Sam Perkins has got to be able to play 20 minutes, and we've got to get Austin Crozier on the floor. I can see why now. He's playing great basketball.
O'Neal, turn around, got it.
But you know what? That's not a layup, and that's not a dunk.
And on a poor shooting night for him, he has 23. Reggie Miller, 4-3. Ball loose, it squirts out of bounds. And they award it to the Lakers with 22 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Now, Reggie's talking to Eddie Rush. He wanted the foul. If there would have been a foul on that, it would have been Reggie for kicking his leg out. So he was trying to get the foul when he shot the jump shot. Very upset with that.
Crowd comes to its feet. Last 10 seconds. Shaw ad-libs a shot. Shaq tries to follow it, and that's the way the 3rd quarter ends. Rose took a shot up around the mouth, and he's bent over as the 3rd quarter concludes.
We just saw the tape of you, 89 Game 2, had the injury and didn't play anymore. Let's talk about Kobe in that sort of same situation. What's the thought process?
Well, the thought process is simple. Dr. Lombardo and Gary Vitti, our trainer, made the right call. Keep him out, keep that swelling down, because everybody feared if he would have came back and played tonight, it would have swelled over tonight and probably wouldn't play Game 3 in Indiana or possibly Game 5. So now we get the ice on it, keep pressure on it, keep the swelling down. So hopefully, you know, it's a day-to-day process, but hopefully he can play on Sunday.
You know how tough it was when you had the injury and couldn't continue to play. How tough is it on Kobe wanting to come back and not being able to play?
Well, he wanted to come back, and he did everything in his power to try to get back. But when he started walking on it, he couldn't help us. That's just the bottom line. And then, you know, I had to tell him, this is a long series. See, this is not when Isaiah came back and it was Game 7 and he had them 25 points in 1 quarter. This is only the 2nd game of the series. It's a long series, and that's what I was explaining to him. We got a chance to win a championship. We got a chance to get you back so we can still win the championship, hopefully.
All right, thanks, Evan.
You know what it is.
All right. Back to you, Bob.
All right, Ahmad and Magic, thanks. An exchange of baskets at the start of the 4th quarter. Shaq for the Lakers, Crozier for the Pacers, and now Fisher is fouled and will come to the line for L.A. The Lakers lead by 4.
Bob, I think when you look at the statistics after 3 quarters, Indy and L.A. even on the boards after L.A. beats them by 12 in Game 1. Offensive rebounds evens at about 9, which is a great sign both for Indy. Turnovers, Indy only 3 in the whole game, which is a great sign. What's let them down is the 3-point shooting. The Lakers are 5 of 12. The Pacers only 2 of 12, and they're the best in the league. You look up, they trail by 5, and they've shot it very poorly from the 3-point line.
Miller spent a long stretch of the first half on the bench, and Smits has given them next to nothing. He scored 4 points.
And Travis Best has got to give them something. This is a guy who's had big fourth quarters, both he and Crozier.
Here's Crozier against Horry. Back to Perkins. Open for 3. And banked it in accidentally.
Is that shades of Brian Shaw against Portland when he banked that shot in at the end of 3 to cut into the lead?
Here's Rick Fox. Harper looking for Shaq. They get it deep to him, and there's no way in the world that Perkins can contend with that.
He was trying to hold him out, and Shaq just walked him back into the lane. You see the smile on Shaq's face. You know what he's thinking? I'm just going to wear you down. I'm going to keep coming at you.
Best.
Oh my.
Way off with a 3. Fox takes it. Harper to O'Neal. 3 Pacers around him. 2 of them on the floor like bowling pins knocked over. Shaquille O'Neal to shoot 2. With the first one he will tie, and with the second one he will break the record for most free throw attempts in a single game in the NBA Finals.
It's amazing. This guy could be missing, and he steps up. Remember in Portland in Game 7, he stepped up and made 2 critical free throws late in that ball game to help them win in Game 7. So his concentration gets better, his focus, and this is what he's going to have to do to finish this game.
And now he's 11 for 25. Bob Pettit had a lot of NBA records. I'm sure he doesn't mind relinquishing this one, a trivial one, after 42 years. Lakers by 6. Crozier lost it. Perkins picked it up. They still have 8 seconds to shoot. Travis Best. They go to the floor, Best and Harper, and a 24-second violation. Travis Best has been at his worst tonight.
Well, they need him right now. It's an interesting lineup that Bird has gone with. He's got Austin Crozier out as a power forward with Sam Perkins. What this does, this forces Shaq to play Sam Perkins, so Perkins can leak out around that three-point line and make some shots. How long will Smith be on the bench before he comes back?
Shaq in the paint. Tried to redirect it at the last minute to Horry. Fox dives to pick it up and asks for a timeout.
You know, it's a big possession. See, that's where you use those 20-second timeouts, not in the first quarter falling out of bounds.
O'Neal touch pass back to Harper, and Harper stepped out.
See, that's a play they like to run, but they like for either Horry or Harper to throw it in so they can tip it back out for a 3. Harper doesn't want to shoot that 3. Where's Reggie Miller? This is his time right now. He has got to get started. Both he and Rose got to get it going in the 4th.
Foul is on Shaq, and that's his 4th.
Again now, Bob, look at these matchups. Sam Perkins just banked in a 3, and Shaq is playing him. So if they get involved in screen and roll, and he rolls back out there, Perkins is a threat to shoot that 3. Horry's matched up against Crozier.
Here's Crozier. Puts it on the floor with a quick first step and tried to take it up with a slam. Fox cut him off and fouled him. Number 3 on Rick.
How quick was that first step? He turned and squared him up. Now he can make the shot, so Horry just sort of straightens up just enough to get beat. No flip shot at the basket. You go with power, and you get the foul.
Crozier, who's from L.A., went to high school in Santa Monica. Hits the first one. He scored 13. He had 16 points on 6 of 7 shooting with 6 rebounds in game 1.
And it's important for the Pacers to get into that foul situation early, get into the penalty, because they're the best free throw shooting team in the league. So they want to get there. The more they can attack and the sooner they can get there, the better it is for them.
O'Neal had it go off his hands. Rose comes back the other way.
What confidence in Crozier going to him once again.
This time he can't hit it, but O'Neal with an unforced error. No one but teammates around him. He juggles it out of bounds.
You know, Shaq expends so much energy, sort of mistimed his jump and then took his eye off of it. But this is a guy who's fighting 2 or 3 or 4 guys in the post, playing defense, working every possession.
Here's Crozier taking the inbound and immediately being fouled by Rick Fox again. That's 4 on Fox. Crozier has a chance to make it a 2-point game. He's been perfect at the stripe tonight, as you see. On Sunday, our WNBA coverage continues as All-Star Lisa Leslie and the Los Angeles Sparks take on League MVP Yolanda Griffith and intrastate rivals Sacramento. Lisa Leslie at the game tonight. The Sparks versus the Monarchs, Sunday at 3 Eastern on NBC.
Is right now for both teams, either a 2-0 lead, a 1-1 split, and a change in the home court writing right now.
Harper. Big shot by Ron Harper.
How about his confidence level? Got the championship rings. Normally he's watched Michael Scotty do that. Now it's his turn to try to step up and make some big plays.
17 for Harp, who's guarding Miller. Crozier looking to work on Ori. And Ori rebounds the miss. Fisher, a 3. The game's biggest lead, Lakers by 7.
Miscommunication defensively. 2 guys went to the ball. One more pass, Fisher wide open.
Crozier, can he answer? No. O'Neal's 20th rebound.
Fisher's hit a big shot. Harper's hit a big shot. Ori's hit a big shot.
All in the absence of Kobe Bryant. The lob for Shaq. He couldn't control it. Now he does, and they foul him. The biggest man in the league and the smallest man on the floor go down together, and luckily Best wasn't directly beneath him. Otherwise, they'd be scraping him off the court with a spatula.
Watch him get this basketball. Look at this. He mistimes his jump, tries to go get it. It goes off the board before anybody can react. He goes and gets it back. This guy is playing so great right now. You know how good that play was, Bob, to be able to go up that ball, tips off your hand, goes to the board, and you go back and get it.
Just as some people did not appreciate what should have been the obvious fact about Wilt, which was that he was a big man who was also a great athlete.
Absolutely.
Excelled in a number of sports besides basketball in Wilt's case. You cannot question the all-round skill of Shaquille O'Neal.
He's made 10 of his last 15 free throws now, I think, too. So he stepped up there right at the right time, and now after going 2 of 11, has hit 10 of his last 15.
And he scored 30.
Does Larry Bird come back with Mark Jackson? Now, Mark Jackson did not play great. But right now, Travis Best is really struggling.
And has struggled in both games. Jackson was brilliant in game 1. Perkins fakes on O'Neal. Best into the lane, to the hoop, but Shaq catches up. Blocks the shot, got him with the body, but still it sends a message.
They're going to call flagrant on that.
The Lakers are already without Kobe Bryant, who left the game in the first half with a sprained ankle and will not return. There's 6:40 left. Best is at the line to shoot 2. He's scoreless on the night. There's his first point. He has 1 point. He doesn't have an assist in 16 minutes.
Now, one of the things also, too, the Lakers have 4 fouls, and they have no shot blocker in the game. Indiana, once again, the best free throw shooting team in the NBA. So, Bob, what do? You attack the basket. No shot blocking. Get the fouls. Stop the clock. Get to the line and get yourself back in this game.
Why not put Smits back in right now?
That's not a bad call. Now, he's got 5, but at least he can take advantage of him sitting down.
Best trying to create something, bumps off Fisher, throws up a wild shot. Crozier rebounds, and then tips it in. Either he or Dale Davis tipped it in.
I tell you, tipped it in. John Sally tipped that ball in. Now Crozier's probably going to get a credit, but Sally tipped that ball in the basket.
You are correct, sir, on both counts, and they give it to Crozier, who has 18. So it is a 4-point trip down the floor for the Pacers and a 4-point lead for the Lakers.
Who's going to score for the Lakers?
Is it Sally? Not with shots like that. They were looking for Crozier, who had his back turned. Sally swiped at him and poked it to Shaw.
Where is Glenn Rice? Glenn Rice is their main threat.
Ori misses a 3. Davis rebounds and gets it to Best. I have to wonder about Mark Jackson on the bench, and now he just stood up as I said that, and Rick Smith still sitting it out.
Now, Reggie, you know, is going to go seeking the foul when he drives to the basket.
Miller can't cut it to 2, but Crozier is there to pick it up. And there's a whistle on the rebound battle. And Fisher and Crozier in a stare down. And Miller cuts in front and says, "What's the matter with you? We can't risk anything here."
They're going to get a technical foul. Now, I don't know if it's going to be Crozier and Fisher or both. But this is what you want to stay away from.
A double technical foul. 44 blue, 2 gold. Double technical.
Just a great hustle play by Austin Crozier. He take exception to Fisher reaching in. He looks down the taunt. That's the technical foul. Looks like 2 heavyweight fighters looking at each other before they're going to go into the ring. And once again, clock is stopped. The Pacers are shooting free throws. This plays into their advantage as Shaq comes into the game now for John Sally. So if he makes this free throw, since Shaq's flagrant foul, that lead would go from 8 down to 2. And Mark Jackson back in also. That flagrant foul and 5th foul cost the Lakers 6 points.
Crozier has scored 20, and he's a perfect 10 for 10 at the line. They look for Shaq. Miller blocked the pass. Now O'Neal's got it. Glenn Rice for 3. 21 points for Glenn Rice.
But when you double team, you got to know who the shooters are.
Jalen Rose answers at the other end, but his basket was a 2. Rice's was a 3, and he's made 5 of 6, speaking of Rice, from beyond the arc.
Now, Jackson gives you better offense when you're in the game, but he's a bad defensive player, and that's where he's going to really have to step it up.
O'Neal scores against 2 defenders. He has 32. Jalen Rose, hold on, whistle before the shot.
When you double team, you've got to get to the shooter. Mark Jackson is slow getting there, and Rice is their main 3-point shooting threat. And then Jalen Rose comes right back. He's had a tremendous game. He pulls up, shoots the little jump shot to answer the 3, and then next time down the floor attacks Glenn Rice, and now once again at the free throw line. And I can't tell you how important every one of these free throws are for the Pacers as they try to get themselves back in and win this game and try to even this series at 1-1 with Kobe Bryant being injured and his status for Sunday being very, very questionable.
A rare free throw miss for Indiana. Harper. 4-point game with 4 minutes left. Rice into the lane. Shaq to finish it up.
Pacers are going to take a timeout to talk it over, but that dribble penetration just breaks you completely down.
Shaquille O'Neal has 34 points with 3:48 left. His Lakers lead by 6. Each team has 3 full timeouts remaining. Indiana has a 20, which the Lakers do not. Here's Reggie Miller scoreless in this 4th quarter. Jalen Rose, Rice leaning on him. And there's a whistle before Rose can make his move.
Bob, just to follow up on Reggie Miller, his last field goal came at 4:42 of the 3rd quarter. He's not scored in over 12 minutes of playing time. This is his time right now. He has got to get the ball and make something happen. It just can't be Austin Crosher and Jalen Rose.
Miller made 5 of his first 6 field goal attempts, but since then, he's 2 for 9. Crosher. He has 11 points in this 4th quarter. He has 21 for the game, and he's made all 11 free throws he's attempted.
Well, we talked about Reggie. Remember when he got early foul trouble? He has never really gotten back into the rhythm of the game. But you know what? He has got to force himself to put his will on this game right now. It's a 4-point game. This is a chance for his team to get a road win in the finals.
Shaw for Shaq. Cross court to a wide open Harper. He fakes, moves inside the 3-point line, and his jumper rattles out. But Ori gives them a fresh 24.
When you double team, it's hard to block out on the boards.
Rice into traffic to the floor, and a Pacer foul.
That will not be a shooting foul. He was hopping in the air, not to shoot, but to get his legs back under him to go back up and shoot. So watch this dribble here now. He pounds it one more time, and gets a hop step there to shoot the ball. And he was going to come down and then go back up.
The Lakers are over the foul limit. The Pacers are not. But with Indiana's next foul, they will be.
Will they foul Shaq if he touches it?
He's got it. He goes up with the shot. If they were going to foul him on purpose, they waited too long and ran the risk of a 3-point play.
And Larry Bird's got a lot of decisions to make now. Dale Davis takes this foul. You have got to make sure that you do not let him get his arms up. He almost was able to get it in the basket, but we have not seen Rick Smits since he picked up his 5th foul. We know he can make a shot. I think Bird is concerned about his defense. Wow.
That one was a line drive. Had no arch on it at all.
And Phil doesn't even blink.
You have to believe that Smits has fallen into disfavor with Larry Bird, because an obvious strategy here would be to put him in, get the ball to him in the paint. At 7-4, he can get his shot off against O'Neal and possibly force O'Neal into foul number 6. Then the Lakers would have to play the duration without O'Neal and Bryant.
Here's the guy right now that's got to go. He's got to make something happen. Reggie Miller, this is his time of the game.
He finds Crosher for 3. Dale Davis wins the battle for the rebound. Miller out of the corner. And O'Neal takes it.
What a big miss by Reggie. He makes that. It's a 2-point game.
And play is stopped at the other end. Jalen Rose on the foul, his 2nd.
That hack-a-shack. Now remember, at the 2-minute mark, you cannot do this, so they take the foul there. At the 2-minute mark, the rule is if you do that, any player on the floor for the Lakers can shoot the free throw, 1 free throw, and they get the ball back.
So if this is their plan, it's for this possession and maybe one more. With that, he's 14 for 30.
Remember, it's under 2 minutes. That's when that rule goes in, the away from the ball foul. 1 shot for anybody on the floor and continued possession by that team.
The Pacers are still alive, but they're down by 6 with 2.5 minutes remaining.
Now, if they can score here when the Lakers throw it in, they can get 1 more foul in on Shaq before it's under 2 minutes, so it's important they score. Crozier
out to Rose. Fake on Rice. Up against the double team. Could have been a three-point play.
See, at 2:15 right now, you can get one more foul on Shaq.
That foul was on Glenn Rice, his third. Big miss for Jalen Rose. Following the game on most of these NBC stations, your late local news, then The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. For those of you who want to stick to the finals, post-game report follows immediately on cable on CNBC.
Now, Mark Jackson alerted the official they were going to foul Shaq. So watch off the ball here. They're going to take the foul. Let's see if they call it. They're grabbing him.
Reggie Miller became a bit agitated, jumping up and down, holding Shaq, saying, look, here it is, call it.
There it is. Now you think about this. If you're Larry Bird, if you rebound the basketball and you take a timeout, maybe move the ball down the court to where you can get a quick shot, you maybe be able to get one more foul on Shaq. So this could be interesting here with this strategy, what they want to do here.
It's still 5.
Now you must block out. You know Robert Horry's going to be going to the boards here. Everybody must check out. No offensive rebounds on a miss.
He makes one of 2, and the Lakers will pretty much take that every time he goes to the line.
Yeah, because it puts the pressure on Pacers to score every time. You just get a 2 for 1. Oh, bad foul by Rice. Now you're going to be able to foul Shaq once again. That's what I was talking about right there.
Yeah, that is not what Phil Jackson had in mind.
But you got to make both of them. You can't trade free throws here. You got to make both of these, hope you foul Shaq, and then he misses both of them.
Rose has had a couple of big misses of late at the line, but he hits that one.
Question is, do you take Shaq out for a possession so that he can't do it, and then bring him in at the 2-minute mark? Looks like Phil's going to stay with him. I think Shaq is going to throw the ball in bounds. Let's see if he just tries to stand out of bounds.
28 for Rose. He is going to throw it in. He does, and he just stands there. You called it, and Jackson chases him out of bounds and shoves him for the foul. Well, he tried to hide, but it's pretty difficult for a man this size to hide.
See, I think the Lakers might have felt that if he stayed out of bounds, they wouldn't call the foul against him. But remember, earlier in the playoffs, we asked the referees, you can foul out of bounds. So that's a good call. I think Phil didn't understand the rule right there. See Bryant Shaw talking to Shaquille as he came out of the timeout, just trying to keep him calm, talking to him about what he needs to do, step up and make both of these free throws.
If he makes them both, the hack-a-Shaq strategy has been a wash. The Pacers would have scored 4 points and Shaq would have made 4 free throws while Indiana was playing out this strategy.
You always see a champion's heart come out in these kind of situations. Larry Bird's a champion, he knows. Shaq's trying to be a champion here for the first time in the NBA.
1 of 2, but look at this. Almost Laker possession, but Fox couldn't quite hold on to it.
Well, the Lakers are stunning off that free throw to try to be able to get inside position. Fox almost got there. Now, the Pacers do not have to be in any hurry. There's still plenty of time. Where is Reggie Miller?
There he is coming off the screen, but Horry got up on him. Now Crozier bumps off Shaw. No call, and Crozier's jumper bounces in.
Bryant Shaw tried to take the little flop there on Crozier. It didn't work. We now have a 1-possession game, and remember, the Pacers, the best three-point shooting team in the league.
O'Neal, and they grab him. Now, it will be O'Neal shooting because he had possession of the ball. What they can't do inside 2 minutes is foul him off the ball. Otherwise, the Lakers, as Doug said, can nominate anybody they want to shoot it, and they keep possession.
This is where they miss Kobe Bryant. How many times have we seen in situations like this when Shaq is struggling at the line that Kobe takes over at the end of the game and keeps the ball in his hands? This is where you miss him desperately. Keep your eye on Horry and Fox underneath the basket. They're running a little stunt here. Horry's going to go to the outside, and Fox is going to shoot straight across to try to get inside position on Dale Davis. He's as far away from him as he possibly can be. Keep your eye on Fox trying to shoot to the opposite side.
Again, 1 of 2. That's been his pattern, a 4-point game. The foul on Davis a moment ago was his 5th, so he's got to watch it. Jalen Rose on the run, tough shot. It's in Shaquille O'Neal's hands, and they foul him as soon as he grabs it. And if that's Davis, and it is, he's fouled out.
See, Jalen Rose, the lefty, when he goes to his right hand to shoot it, he comes back with that left hand, and Fox is able to get a piece of it. Loose ball goes to Shaq. Once again, he's going to be back on that foul line. Dale Davis did a nice, solid job tonight. 9 points, 10 rebounds. More importantly, he went in there and pushed and shoved against Shaq to get one more big body to play against him.
Another flat shot. With that free throw, Shaq has taken more foul shots than the entire Pacer team. He's tried 38 and made 17. Indiana as a team is 31 of 37. But another headline, Reggie Miller blanked in the 4th. Almost like clockwork, 1 of 2.
See, now Reggie keeps dropping the ball into Crozier. He's got to come off that screen and attack Bryant and get to the foul line or get a basket. They're going to double team him and they're going to get the foul.
And that has to make Phil Jackson wince, because you foul Reggie in this situation, it's almost a guaranteed 2.
Well, you could see what Phil's philosophy was. He wasn't going to let Reggie isolate, so here comes Harper to double team. He just pushed him out of bounds. Reggie's got to make both of these free throws. Remember, he's the 2nd best free throw shooter in the NBA behind Jeff Hornacek.
Hornacek made 95% in this his final season in the league. Miller hit 91%. With his first 2 points of the 4th quarter, he has 21 for the game, and more importantly, it's a 3-point difference.
Will they throw it once again to Shaq? You cannot let Shaq lay the ball in the basket. No layups, no dunks.
He looks for Horry, and the Cubs plus the foul. A spectacular shot by Robert Horry off the O'Neal assist.
Big men can't do that. You're not supposed to be able to make a play like that. Shaquille gets the ball in the lane, and watch this touch pass. He realizes 3 or 4 guys are coming at him. At the last minute, he drops it down to Robert Horry. And how often have we talked about either an Horry or a Fox or a Shaw, somebody making a big shot? This could be a dramatic 3-point play.
And it is. Here are the Pacers down 6. Jalen Rose to the basket.
See, they didn't need a 3. That's a good play by Rose. You shoot a 3 and you miss. Oh, they're going to foul. They're going to foul Perkins. Perkins didn't know the rule. He fouled Shaq off the ball. Larry Bird's telling him the rule. Now it's going to be probably Glenn Rice shooting a free throw. Who else? I guess maybe Horry's going to shoot the free throw, and then they get the ball back. That's not having the awareness of the rule.
When you're going to be 39 in a week, and you've been in the league for 16 years, how can you not know the rule?
That's something that you as a coaching staff also have to make sure that you let your players know exactly what that rule is. That can be tough. Now you give them a point, that makes it 5. right now. The big deal is if they score, it's a 7-point game. That's 3 possessions instead of 2. That's how big that play is.
That's mind-boggling. In it goes to Fox.
It's sometimes the simple little breakdowns that cost you the most.
Fox on the run, banks it in. They'll count the basket, plus the foul, and it begins to look like even without Kobe Bryant, the Lakers will take a 2-0 lead to Indiana.
You know, so much has been said about this Laker bench. Now remember, 2 years ago, that guy, Rick Fox, was a starter. Robert Horry was a starter. That guy was a starter on a team that won 61 games. So these guys are playing off the bench, but they have been starters on very good teams throughout their careers.
That was a very close call, by the way, as to whether it should have been a charge or a block, but it didn't go Sam Perkins' way. Among the important factors in this game, the Indiana Pacers, a great three-point shooting team. 3 of 17 from that distance. Reggie Miller, 1 of 5. The Lakers, among the lowest ranking teams in the league in three-point percentage, have hit 7 of 15. Rice did most of the damage. 5 of 6 on those bombs.
Remember, the three-point shot helped them beat Portland in Game 7.
Sam Perkins trying to redeem himself. And he hits the 3 to make it a 4-point game. And they immediately grab Harper and foul him.
See, now, if you're Robert Horry, the one thing now, Ron Harper is not a great free throw shooter. You've got to look for the best free throw shooter you have out there. Maybe a Brian Shaw, Fox, or whatever. You just can't throw the ball into the first available guy. The last thing you do is take a timeout. And it's important to throw it into a guy who's a good free throw shooter.
Especially in the latter stages of the playoffs, is a clutch shooter.
Well, he's been great tonight. What does he have? 18 points. So Kobe Bryant goes down. He picks up the pace with 18. Glenn Rice picks up his pace. Timely baskets by the other players. So, you know, Indiana has played a terrific game tonight. Much, much better than in Game 1, Bob. But it looks like they're going to go home down 2-0.
Trailing by 6. With precious little time remaining, it's Rose into a crowd, and Horry swats it out of bounds. Rose with the bandage on his neck. He was hit up under the chin at the end of the 3rd quarter.
I'm really surprised that Reggie Miller has looked not to shoot the basketball or be so much involved here. It's been Crocher and Rose.
Jackson backs up for 3. And it's Laker ball. That's perhaps a foul over the back.
That's on Sam Perkins. That's going to do it right there. 17 seconds to go. If he makes one of these, it's a 3-possession game.
Perkins has fouled out, and Miller has been unable to produce 4th quarter heroics.
That's his time. Remember, that was the Game 6 in New York where he had 17 of his 34 points in that quarter. We saw it in the Milwaukee series where he had a huge 4th period. But here it's been Crocher and Jalen Rose that have tried to carry them. I still think that Reggie has got to be involved in this 4th quarter. Look at this. Only 2 field goal attempts, 1 from the 3-point line. They need him at this time. That's when he's at his best.
Are the Lakers doing something extraordinary to deny him defensively?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you know, he's worked it. I'm not saying he's run away from the ball, but Rose has had a good matchup, and Crocher, but I just don't think you can lose this guy on the floor. He's so vital, especially such a great free throw shooter, and he has the ability to get to the line.
Last gasp for the Pacers. Miller to Jackson, a long 3, which probably comes too late. It's a 5-point difference. Here's Rick Fox. They're just looking to dribble some time away. Rose comes over and fouls him.
Rick Smith should have taken the foul. You got to take the foul there. He let him burn about 4 more seconds off the clock.
And Reggie Miller is letting Smits hear about it.
I mean, that's awareness. You know, Bob, it's a couple things that the Pacers have done here at the end of the game with, you know, committing a foul they shouldn't commit, you know, letting him run. You know, look at him. He's got to come out and foul him. You know what? You can't be worried about right now that you got 5 fouls. You got to take that foul for your team. So you burn clock, gets down to 7 seconds, and then you take the foul. So the Pacers right now are usually a very, very smart team at the end of the games. Tonight they've made some mental lapses.
Down by 7 with 7 seconds to play, and they lose it. Fox could have taken it to the hole, but he's content to just let it tick away and to go with his team to Indiana, up 2-0 in the series. More bad news for the Pacers. Since the NBA went to the 2-3-2 format in the finals in 1985, no team has ever won those middle 3 games, all 3 of them, on its home floor.
You know, Bob, I think you said, did Indiana come tonight with a great effort? Yes, they did. They played some terrific basketball. When in the end, it was just the power and dominance of Shaquille O'Neal. Just he willed his team tonight, and then some timely shooting. Ron Harper, Glenn Rice, they stepped up big in the absence of Kobe Bryant.
Ahmad Rashad is with Shaq.
All right, thanks, Bob. Shaq, it looked like when Kobe went down, you guys collectively as a team realized that somebody had to come up big.
Yeah, we felt we didn't play very well at the beginning. And, my teammates were looking for me. They tried to hack at Shaq. I missed a couple in the first half. I think I was, trying too hard. But once I settled down, just took my time, most of them fell for me. And, we just played hard, played good defense, and, we just wanted to, really get this game, and we did.
Well, the defensive strategy was to go to the hack at Shaq, but you are doing your part to put that thing to rest.
Yeah, first half, like I said, I missed like, 10 or 12. I think that I was trying too hard. So I just, said to myself, calm down, shoot. I was looking over at my father, he just told me, take my time, follow through, and just shoot. And everything will be all right.
So now, coming into game 2s have been a problem for you guys in these series, but coming in tonight, it looks like you guys matched the energy.
We knew that they were going to come in, fired up, come and play hard. And, the reason why game 2, I think, has been a problem because we've been blowing teams out game 1. And, they just came back. They're the best in the East, so, we knew that they weren't going to give it to us. So, we just played hard, and we were able to get another home win.
All right, congratulations on a great game, Shaq.